As years go by, we are becoming more scientifically and technologically advanced. With that being said, we are on the rise to altering human genetics for the better. Imagine a world without disease and the human race having a longer lifespan. We could decrease the risk of passing on familial diseases and increasing a person's IQ before ever leaving the womb. Genetically engineered babies could save the future. This may go against all of your beliefs, but if you think about it, all the lives that could be saved, it might actually be worth the time and investment. We can lower the number of diseases spread from generation to generation, and we can increase lifespan and IQ, which in turn would lead to less poverty and bring the human race together. Think of a world with little to no disease. We could stop genetic disorders and diseases and prevent humans from dying at a young age. There are many diseases that are a gene disorder, for instance, cystic fibrosis or Alzheimer's or Down syndrome. If we could alter the gene while a predisposed child is in the womb, we could give them a longer, more fruitful life. This is no different from medications that people take on a daily basis to extend their lives and improve their health. If your family history is overrun with heart disease or diabetes, it is inevitable that someday you could inherit the same health issues. Genetic engineering could prevent people from having health concerns, whether they be allergies or cardiomyopathy. It's no different from having an artificial stent placement or organ transplant later in life. If health issues are fixed while in vitro, we would not ever have to go through these struggles. More research into gene modification can only bring us closer to curing many genetic disorders such as Down syndrome, sickle cell anemia, and Huntington's disease. Not only can this research help the children who are predisposed, but it can also be used to help a child that already has leukemia, for instance. According to Dr. Roger Gosden, what if you have a child that has leukemia and needs a bone marrow transplant, but you nor your spouse or anyone else in the family is a match? Through designer babies, they could create a perfect match for your child's blood, bone marrow, and other organs. We could eradicate all disease. Not only can you prevent your child from carrying gene disorders, but you can prevent later generations as well. As of right now, the process of genetic engineering is not necessarily perfected. There are a few different types of genetic engineering methods, but in order to create a designer baby, scientists use the germline process. Germline targets the genes in eggs, sperm, and embryos in very early stages of development. These modifications are passed on through generations, meaning genetic disorders would be wiped out for good. If we were able to perfect the research of gene modification, we could ultimately extend life expectancy. LiveScience.com shows us that a recent study in the United Nations shows that the United States still trails many of the world's countries when it comes to life expectancy. We have a multitude of diseases in the United States, especially inflammatory diseases, that could all be prevented before we even knew we had it. Who knows? Using genetic engineering could increase our life expectancy by 50 years. You probably think I would not want to live until I'm 150 years old, but what if you were healthy and actually able to move around like you were young again? We could also use genetic modification to increase a person's IQ. This in turn could lead to many advancements in science, technology, politics, and may ultimately result in world peace. There may be some negative connotations to genetically engineered babies, but when you think about it, who are we really hurting? There are some good sides to it as well. Always remember there are genetic disorders that can be prevented early on in life and in turn increase our life expectancy. There could be a huge breakthrough in our world's future to fight disease without actually having to fight. We could save billions of dollars on pharmaceutical and hospital treatments for diseases that will ultimately kill us. We need to work towards making advancements in our research, and you should do your part to donate. We could save the entire human race from unnecessary pain and extinction.